Welcome to Forensic Friday,
where we examine the intersection of true crime, psychology, and the heart of being human in the middle of it all. Oh, I'm going to check my microphone.
I just did that.
That's so smart. We're back to paranoia, which is not bad, actually. I'm going to do my little rehearsals.
You know what show I started?
What?
Because I watched the first season forever ago, like years ago, but I never watched any of the rest of them.
What?
Stranger Things.
I've been telling you about this. It's so good.
I know. Well, a lot of people tell me it's good, and I still haven't watched the rest, but I partly didn't want to watch it because it is kind of scary.
It's a little scary. And it's
like the first episode, that creepy thing's chasing the little boy.
Oh, that doesn't get better.
And then
the second season that's at the mall? That one is epic. They're at
and
the
then
mall.
He's abducted.
Yes, that does happen. It's really good though. It's such a good depiction of trauma in some ways, this whole upside down idea or like psychopathy. Well, because technically he's a psychopath. What's his bucket?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't even know yet. We'll talk about it when we get there.
I'm literally second episode in.
I couldn't even psychopath in there.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't even tell you even though I watched it years ago, the first season, I couldn't even tell you what happened.
Well, you'll just have to tell me as you go. Couple updates. You ready?
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Dawson's Creek?
Yes, I'm so sad.
I'm so sad. Were you a Dawson or a Pacey fan?
Dawson.
Oh, I loved Pacey. Dawson wasn't practical enough for me. I needed a good Pacey. Pacey was kind of yummy. But Dawson, James Vanderbeek passed away.
I know.
So sad. Unbelievably sad. He had cancer.
I literally saw it show up on my Instagram and I said out loud by myself. I was home by myself with Grace today. And I said, no!
Garrett texted it to me. That's love. Because he knew it would make me sad. He wanted to be the one to tell me. They had a reunion for Dawson's Creek and he was not looking like he was feeling great. But he always had such a great attitude and brought a lot of awareness to colon cancer. And I think he was a good man. So I'm really sad. I'm sad for his family and all of his kids.
Yeah.
And then the au pair case. Remember that crazy case? She got sentenced today. I haven't seen what it was. She was facing remember the one who came in and they tried to set the wife up with the weird rape fantasy thing, and then that whole thing happened. She was sentenced today, and I didn't see what she ended up getting, but her sentencing court date was today. Are you going to Google?
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Hold on.
Up to 10 years in prison is what she was facing. Oh, she's getting sentenced on Friday.
Oh.
Yep. She's getting sentenced on Friday. Up to 10 years in prison for the death of Joseph Ryan, the man who came over.
Okay.
Which is very weird to me that she's only facing 10 years, but remember, she turned on him. So I think she had a reduced sentence because she turned on him.
What did she say again when she turned on him?
She said it was all his deal.
Oh.
And that he started it, basically. Like he was the mastermind and he's the one who did the first things. But she's facing up to 10 years and pled guilty to manslaughter. So we'll be posted on that. So
crazy.
I know, isn't that just crazy?
She looks way different now that she can't have her.
Somebody put on our Instagram, they messaged us. No, it was a comment about, well, she looks a lot different now. And I'm like, we would all look a lot different on trial for murder than we do.
Well, yeah, because you can't do your hair. You can't you can't do anything to keep yourself up, really.
Well, You get in prison. Jail's a little rougher. Prison, they find ways to do things.
I mean, yeah, but she didn't.
I love you. She could have, but she didn't. In fairness, not trying to impress her employer at the moment. I mean,
Right.
technically.
Or anyone, hopefully.
Or anyone. So she's probably like, I'm over it. Like, I gave the hot girl life a try. I'm over it.
And it didn't go well.
It didn't go well. I'm over it. I'm just going to ride out the next 10 years and then maybe she'll relaunch herself. Who knows? Respawn, which is terrifying, honestly.
Yeah, we'll have like another, what's that girl's name who killed her mom?
Oh, I was thinking of Slender Man because she got out and immediately wasn't really scary again.
Well, didn't she like escape?
She escaped.
Yeah.
Get out. She busted out.
She busted out. She did not get out.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking of what's that one chick's name? Oh my gosh. The one who like her mom is like Munchausen syndrome.
Oh, Gypsy Rose.
Yes.
You're obsessed with her. I can't watch anything on her.
I hate her, actually.
It upsets me to the core.
Well, what makes me the most mad about Gypsy Rose is she got famous from everything.
Yeah.
And then got out of prison, and it like she's kind of died down now. Like her fame, I think people were just kind of over her crap. But when she got out, everyone was like, oh, Gypsy Rose. And I was like, why? She literally killed her mom.
I was writing about psychopathy the other day, and I was thinking about Wade Wilson and his like descent into whatever prison's doing to him. And I was writing about the dopamine.
He looks terrible.
Well, it's the dopamine cycle in the brain. So it's like in prison, he's like, I don't know, cookies. Like his brain is not all online. So when you think about psychopathy, that dopamine circuit is so intense. And I've been doing some writing on it, like really the last 2 weeks. That's been my focus. Mm-hmm. And my working title for the chapter is More Carrot, What Stick? Like the carrot, the stick. I know, right? I'm hilarious. Mm-hmm. But no, I think he's just not real worried about it either.
Which is wild because I think he's still trying to like think that he's as hot as he thinks he was before.
I'm sure there are chicks still talking to him,
I don't know, man. A lot of them were over it by the end.
I hope so. I would hope as a woman that if you sat, and some of them said that in the documentary, if you sat and heard the things that he did, that would lose appeal. But people are wild.
I know, and it's women, because there's no chick sitting in prison right now who has a line of men standing at her door.
No.
That I know of.
No.
It's only women who do this.
Yes.
It's weird.
It's very weird. I mean, yeah. So much I could say that I should not say.
What is it?
I'm just thinking about like, we need to just do an episode on it because I have theories and I have no idea if they're grounded in any reality. It's like my son-in-law Nancy Guthrie theory. I don't even know that it's him. It could be anybody, and it could be anyone. I think it's somebody close in, but I need to do a little research before I throw.
Well, they've detained someone, but we don't know who it is yet.
No, they let him go. They let him go. What's the latest? We should Google that really fast too, because
okay. Well, the latest is
things are unfolding fast.
The latest is that someone said they know something, but wants like $50,000, which is like one Bitcoin, $56,000,
which is also highly unlikely that they only want 60 grand if they actually know something.
Well, they're saying they want one Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's worth about 60 grand.
Yeah, but I don't think they know anything.
We'll be right back.
This episode is brought to you by Southeast Counseling Center. Southeast Counseling Center is a 501c3 nonprofit mental health provider right here in Parker, Colorado, conveniently located just off major highways. We serve the whole family, from play therapy for kids to couples and family therapy, trauma treatment, psychological testing, and specialized groups. Access matters. That's why Southeast Counseling Center accepts Medicaid, Tri-West, and victim compensation, and also offers a community subsidy program to help people who fall in the gap between Medicaid and traditional insurance coverage. And because we're a nonprofit, every dollar donated by the community goes directly towards providing treatment services for people who need help. Prefer to meet at home? Telehealth is available statewide so anyone in Colorado can access our services. To get started, call 720-842-5553 or fill out our secure web inquiry form at secounseling.org. Southeast Counseling Center, care that is accessible, compassionate, and rooted in the community.
Well, and they've had 4,000 calls to the tip line in 24 hours, but they let the one suspect go
Mm-hmm.
who they were questioning. They're searching roads near Nancy Guthrie's home. The guy who got detained is trying to clear his name, which I don't know who he is or how he's connected.
I have a feeling,
Hmm.
and I could be so wrong. I think you're right. I think it's someone close in, but I have a weird suspicion that it's like we're going to be either we know who it is or we're going to be shocked.
Could be. It could be. Tina is suspicious of the bandmate of the brother-in-law. So he's in a band with this person who's
So did they clear the brother-in-law?
No.
No.
I mean, they haven't said he's a person of interest, but he hasn't been formally cleared either. But I just heard that, did the three come out again and do another video?
I don't know.
It's hard because there's so many things getting released. Ooh, a glove recovered by authorities was found 1.5 miles from her home. They're going to nail this person. They're getting close.
Also, why would you drop a glove? That's like 101.
The man lumbered up to the porch. He's not a professional. Did you see where his gun was? You should have
Yes.
heard my mom about how the gun was.
Right in the front.
Uh-huh. Remember? Okay, this was years ago in Denver at a nightclub. There was like a cop. Was it a cop or an FBI? It wasn't FBI. It was like a cop who dropped the gun he was dancing at the club and it went off. Do you remember this? He had it like waist holstered.
No.
I have to fact check the shit out of this.
Oh God.
People this has happened to, but this was in a club and it was a law enforcement human. I need to track down the details because this was a few years ago. But yeah, dancing at a club and his gun fell out.
Was he on duty?
I don't remember if he was working security or off duty, but had his gun. Yep. Yep. Okay, they found a glove. They're coming for your ass, man. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Oh my God.
I already know. They're coming for them. Okay.
This poor woman, everyone's like, give me money and I'll tell you something. I'm like, just tell someone something.
I know. A bunch of jackasses. They don't know. They don't know anything. I just don't. I think the law enforcement's getting close, but I think the people firing off messages to God knows who, like, I don't know that they know anything. I've never seen this kind of extortion before where it could be hard to trace. One of the things I read was the Bitcoin activity that happened. It was like $300. I don't know what it was about, but they said they feel pretty confident that it's somebody from the Tucson area. So the person they'd picked up was like pretty far south and they're thinking it's in the Tucson area. So who knows? You guys, who knows?
Wild.
And they're working their way from the sisters from Annie's house to Nancy's house, searching at, like, they're really combing everything, which I think they did that initially, but they're going back over. So, but I was trying to see where they found the glove. That was on CNN. So they found a glove. They're not saying for sure anything, but that was off of CNN. So,
okay.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay, so I have right here, handwritten analog style, our case for this week.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You hand wrote it?
Hand wrote.
Okay.
I just couldn't do any more screens today.
That's fair.
I couldn't. And I've been piecing this together in my brain, and I finally just sat down and wrote it out. So we are going to talk tonight about the case with the couple that was murdered in Columbus. Have you heard about this?
Mm-mm.
Okay, this is really an important case to talk about from a domestic violence perspective. We are going to talk today about Spencer and Monique Tepe. They are a couple
Mhm.
that had been married for, I don't know, 5-6 years, and really a lovely couple. They got married at home. When you're seeing clips from their wedding, it was really touching because one of the things that it said that she said to him was, "It's been quite a journey to get to you, my
Mm.
person," you know? And she
Mhm.
said that she's had waterfalls of tears leading
Mm.
up to this. And then he called her Momo, which was his
Aw.
name for her, and said really beautiful things about her too. And it's just a beautiful wedding. And they had this wedding at home in this lovely home. And you just get the sense that this was really a beautiful family.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, I believe they got married in 2019. So they'd been together for quite some time.
Well, and wasn't there really quick speculation that it was a homicide suicide at first?
Well, so here's what happened. So on December 30th in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
Spencer's colleagues start calling the police because he's late for work. And it's really weird that he's late for work. And you can hear it in the concern in his coworkers in the 911 calls. And so by the time they get to the fourth caller who's concerned, this person has gotten into the home and sees bodies.
Mm-mm.
And Spencer and Monique are both dead in their home, multiple gunshot wounds. Monique had 9 gunshot wounds to the head, trunk, and extremities.
Jeez.
Spencer was shot 7 times in his head,
Mm.
neck, and trunk of his body. And the children were in the home. They were psychologically harmed, I'm quite sure, but not physically harmed. And then their golden doodle, Larry, was also in the home. So the kids were swept off with Spencer and Monique's parents, who all seem like really lovely people.
Mhm.
And then the doggo went with Maddie, Monique's sister. And so they clear the scene, they get to the bottom of, what happened. And it's really kind of quiet at first.
Mm.
It's quiet at first. Law enforcement says this happened between 2 and 5 a.m. on the 30th, and they start retracing steps to try to figure out what happened.
Okay.
And what they're able to figure out is on the 29th of December, they had the Big Ten championship game.
Mm-hmm.
And Spencer and Monique went. They were big Ohio State fans. So
Okay.
they went to the game, and Ohio State did get beat, by the way, just saying. But they went to the Big Ten game, championship game. And during the game, Monique left pretty suddenly.
Hmm.
And Spencer's friends later told law enforcement that Spencer told them they had to leave really quickly because Monique was concerned about something to do with her ex-husband.
Mm.
So
Really quickly, are her kids with the ex-husband or with Spencer?
the kids are with Spencer. She doesn't have any children with her ex-husband.
Okay.
And when law enforcement got into her history, because they did that right away,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't hard to find that she'd been married. So she was married in 2015, from 2015 to 2017. But again, the police are kind of like, the divorce was really no big deal. It was nothing nefarious in the history. Basically, the divorce says that they were incompatible.
Hmm.
And she requested to keep her ring because she had paid for her own ring.
Makes sense.
Uh-huh. So, but there was nothing remarkable, and they didn't have assets, they didn't have children, they didn't have anything. So
Okay.
nothing looked amiss. And
Right.
as of like 2020, she and Michael were doing fine. So in 2020, they did kind of like a check-in snapshot, and Michael, he's a vascular surgeon, and he had just finished his residency and was doing a fellowship like all the way in Maryland as recently as 2020. And she was married and living her best life. I mean, it had been years and years and years.
When did she get married?
She got married in, I think it was 2019 to Spencer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then had their kiddos.
Okay.
So, I mean, nothing really to see there.
Yeah.
So it's pretty quiet at first. The neighbors are kind of some of them reported that somebody had been kind of lurking around a couple weeks before this happened, but they didn't really have anything substantial.
Okay.
They lived in a real kind of up and coming area. It was like a transitional area, and they loved their home. So I get the sense they were in like a little bit more of a historic part of Columbus, and so they were revitalizing this neighborhood, and it was beautiful. It was new construction. Their home was really beautiful. And so, of course, as you said, they typically suspect when they find a man and a woman dead in the home, the first thing they think is murder suicide, and statistically that makes sense.
Yeah.
No gun was found in the home, so obviously they knew very quickly that this was somebody else.
Yeah.
Also, the number of gunshot wounds is
Right.
pretty intense. So flash to a couple days after the murders, the police release footage from a Nest camera
Okay.
kind of in the alley, and there's a person of interest walking in the alley.
Okay.
And it's interesting thinking about on the heels of all this Guthrie stuff, and who knows, by the time this drops, they may know who did it, but the way that we all have cameras for the most part on our homes, there's cameras in apartment buildings, there's cameras in parking lots, there's cameras at gas stations, there's cameras at intersections, it's very, very hard to move around completely undetected.
Right.
So they found this person pretty quick after that. They released footage, but then pretty quick after that, they announced that they have a suspect in custody. And what they realized is they had seen a vehicle around where this man was seen walking, and they could link it going to the home and leaving the home, that area, during the time of the murders. And also, I mean, what time was it? I said 3 something in the morning, 3:52 in the morning. You don't have a lot of people out and about, and so it stood out. It's kind of like Coburger. Even in a college town, his car stood out. Here it is in the neighborhood zipping around. Same with this. So they basically track him down. They track the vehicle down, and it's Michael McKee, her ex-husband.
Okay.
And he's 400 miles away. Get this. He was living in a high-rise penthouse in Chicago, working at a hospital in Rockford, Illinois, which is not far from my family. Hey, hey friends. Not far from people that I know. Kind of rural. Rockford's kind of rural, but it's outside of Chicago. They arrest him at a Chick-fil-A near the hospital in Rockford at 9 a.m.
Those poor Chick-fil-A people.
Imagine. I literally wrote, can you imagine being there?
No.
So an ATF agent finds him.
Because that's all like kids probably.
100%. And they come at him. And we were just in a meeting last night, and they were talking about the Chick-fil-A workers. They get Chick-fil-A'd in the interview process because they get my pleasure. Isn't that what they say? My pleasure.
Yeah, my pleasure. If they don't say my pleasure, you remember it.
That's exactly right, because they're amazing. Well, that was a bad morning to be at Chick-fil-A, because literally guns drawn, yelling at him to get down. Imagine that with your just like morning Chick-fil-A order. Do you ever get Chick-fil-A breakfast?
We'll be right back.
If you work with court-ordered clients, you already know the system can be overwhelming. Documentation, coordination, compliance tracking, billing, on top of actually doing the therapy. That's why we want to tell you about Reliatrax, a one-stop platform built specifically for therapists working in the court-ordered space and voluntary treatment. Reliatrax helps you stay connected with probation and referral sources so everyone's on the same page and your clients get the best care possible without the endless emails, calls, and paperwork. And here's the exciting part. Reliatrax now offers Aura, their new AI assistant. Aura helps streamline documentation, keeps you organized, and supports your workflow so you can spend less time clicking boxes and more time doing clinical work. Reliatrax also supports insurance billing, including Medicaid, making it easier to serve both court-ordered and voluntary clients all in one system. No juggling platforms and no workarounds. And the other amazing thing is you have an actual team of people who can support you, not some automated system. If you're looking for a smarter, more efficient way to manage compliance, communication, and care, Reliatrax was built for this. Check out Reliatrax and see how it can support you, your clients, and the systems you work in without burning you out. You can go to www.reliatrax.com to get started.
Yeah, well, when I first had Gray, and I was like very early. It was when my sister came to stay with us,
Mm-hmm.
and I had her first doctor's appointment where I had to drive,
Oh, yeah.
and we went to Chick-fil-A. It was so busy, and it was at like 10 a.m.
What's your
Maybe
Chick-fil-A
11.
breakfast meal?
Oh, I don't know. It's just, I think it changes because I don't go very often. So, like, my meal for lunch, but
I do.
for breakfast, it's like usually their grilled sandwich with eggs. Really good.
Yeah, now I want that tomorrow. I might have to get myself Chick-fil-A breakfast on the way in honor of Michael McKee getting taken down in the Chick-fil-A.
Perfect.
Cheers to you, sir. He was in jail for 10 days in Rockford, and then they extradited him to Ohio.
Okay.
What's creepy is this is a vascular surgeon, first of all, which
Right.
we'll get into that. So Spencer, dentist. Monique had a graduate degree. I didn't do a ton of research into it, but she met Michael when they were both in school at Ohio State.
Okay.
And Michael was, in medical school and then carried on and became a surgeon. Spencer's a dentist. None of them are slouches, okay? None of them.
Obviously, yeah,
They're
yeah.
all brilliant. It's kind of cute, Monique and Spencer. She has the most beautiful smile.
Beautiful.
Beautiful smile. And Spencer, what was it? I think it was his cousin said like he was always very particular about teeth. And I'm like, well, it makes sense that they're together because I don't know if I've ever seen a more beautiful smile on a human.
Right. Yeah.
So he was probably like, my God, they're perfect. Like marries her.
Look at her teeth.
I know. I've never seen a set of teeth like that in my life. So anyway, the thing that's so creepy, Nat, is the video of him getting booked at jail. Into jail is so unbelievable. Zero emotion, nothing. Not upset, not scared, not nothing. Like Koberger has shown more emotion in terms of being unhappy and uncomfortable. And, he's bitching in the prison about everything, whatever. That's not the deal with this dude. He is stone cold. It's weird. So they even describe him as being robotic. But I'm looking at him like, he did what he wanted to do. And now he didn't try to get away. He didn't run. There's really no part of him. They even found the gun. And again, this is allegedly, I should say, because he has not been convicted. They found the gun. They can match the bullet casings found and the scene to one of his firearms. So they talk in the documentary about how they match those things up and whatever.
He's like really not trying to hide.
Throw the gun away. Like, it just doesn't seem like he cares that much. And I'm sure the defense attorneys are going to poke holes in things and whatever, but they have an awful lot of evidence. And he hasn't done a ton to run or hide or do whatever, so I suppose he could be innocent, but they have an awful lot of evidence. So anyway, here's what he did. And I really want to get your take on this. He left his phone at the hospital for 17 hours that day, which gave him enough time to go potentially, allegedly, kill Spencer and Monique and then return to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So then they interview his neighbor 2 floors down,
Mm-hmm.
who's this elderly woman, and it starts to feel a little bit like murderers in the building, only murders in the building. Because she's like lived there forever, but she knows him, like she sees him pretty frequently.
Mm-hmm.
No change. No change after the murders, daily routine, up at a certain time, goes to the hospital, like no change, no erratic behavior, nothing that she can point to.
Mm-hmm.
Said he's always been pretty pleasant.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. And one of the questions I wrote here, I want you to like noodle on, and we'll get to it in a minute. But one of my questions, and this was a question somebody had like written down that flashed during the
Mm-hmm.
documentary, was did he want to get caught on some level? Because this is a very smart person with lots of resources.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like he really didn't do anything to
He
like
didn't try hard to.
no, to not to get away with it.
And also, he's the ex-husband. Like he knew. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know.
It almost feels like he like snapped and just something like broke in him.
Well, this is where it gets a little creepier.
Okay.
The other thought that I had was from a psychopathy perspective, they just assume they're going to get away with it
Yeah.
without doing a whole lot, and they're not that worried about it. So it
Like
kind of
he's like,
reeks
yeah,
of their society.
he's like, they probably won't have enough evidence or something.
And again, I've never assessed him allegedly. I'm not diagnosing him. I'm not anything. I'm just hypothesizing that the number one suspect in this murder showed zero emotion when he got booked. He's a surgeon, which I love our surgeons. We need our surgeons. There's many loving, very warm surgeons. There's also some psychopathic surgeons. And that's a documented field where we sometimes see people with less empathy, and it's adaptive so that they can do the things that they do. It's very hard to do surgery, especially some of the really complex,
Mm-hmm.
nitty-gritty surgeries, if your heart's overflowing with empathy. Like you kind of need other parts of your brain to be firing.
Yeah.
So, and vascular surgery in particular is very like, I did a little digging on it because I was like, what does that even mean? And I know it's like blood vessels and stuff, but I got in there and I'm like, this is really technical work. Not that any surgery is not technical, although sometimes when you look at like orthopedic surgery, it looks so barbaric. What they do
Right.
is very technical, but it looks nuts. So that
Okay.
was one of the things I thought was, I wonder if there's a delusional, it's not tracking with an emotional, I don't care to live. I don't
No.
get that vibe. The vibe I'm getting
Well,
is more,
and I'm seeing the pictures of him on
uh-huh.
online, and yeah, zero affect.
No, it doesn't reek of remorse. That's for
Mm-mm.
sure. It looks very like boop. And
Mm-hmm.
so then I'm like, okay, maybe there's some delusion in there that he wouldn't get caught just because he doesn't
Yeah.
think he will. Or
Yeah.
if he gets caught, it doesn't matter because he'll just go to prison and do whatever. So here's where we start to find bombshell.
Okay.
As they get into more of the investigation, and some of this law enforcement had early on, but was not releasing to the public. So it's not like this came out after he was arrested. I think they had some of it before.
Right.
They talked to her friends. They start talking to her friends. Here's some of the things that happened to her when
Mm-hmm.
she was with him. Remember, they were married 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
2 years.
Did it say how long they dated for in school?
No, that would be
Okay.
interesting to know.
I'm
We could
just
look that
curious.
up, but they were only married for 2 years. And they were college sweethearts.
Yeah.
So he had threatened her life multiple times, allegedly. He was abusive.
Mm-hmm.
He forced her to have sex. He'd strangled her, which you and I know.
Mm-hmm.
There's the kicker. He told her he could kill her at any time. He would find her and buy the house right next to her, and that she would always be his wife.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. And she really only told her closest friends.
Mm.
She only told her closest friends. So, couple of things with this. They think, oh, I got to back up. Hang on. So the 30th was not when the game was. The game was December 6th. What they think is that on December 6th, so on December 30th, Garrett, was just when they were killed. December 5th, they went to the Big Ten championship game in Indianapolis. They came home really quickly that day because there was something going on with her ex-husband.
Okay.
What they think now, the neighbors who saw someone loitering around, I suspect she may have seen him in the cameras or something because she came racing
Oh,
home and neighbors reported it on the 6th, like 5th, 6th.
that someone was around their
Mhm.
house.
Mm-hmm. So he may have texted her something. There may have been something that happened, but she like took off
Mm.
really fast. And you get the sense, they don't go into a ton of detail, but you really get the sense that his friends knew for him to not be at work that something terrible might have happened. Like that's not the first place you
Mm.
jump. If you and I are running half hour late, it was like 8:50 or 9 o'clock in the morning when they're calling. You and I, if you're 30 minutes late, I'm sorry. I'm not thinking something terrible happened to you, but I don't have a reason to think that.
Right. And so it was the dentist, it was, or the,
For the dentist, for
okay,
Spencer.
okay. Okay,
Yeah.
Spencer, got it.
So
Okay.
so his friends must have known there was
Something was
some
up.
concern, and then they were trying to call Monique and they couldn't get her either. And then they were
Okay.
really concerned.
Okay.
So anyway, when she left, I just wonder what it is she knew or thought she knew, right?
Mm-hmm.
That made her go home so abruptly that day. And then only a couple of weeks later, she's killed. She and
Well, and I
Spencer are
wonder if her
killed.
kids were home and she saw him lurking around.
Oh my God. Can you
And so
imagine?
she like rushed
That would
home.
explain it.
Yeah.
Or a picture. Like, what if she got a picture from an unknown number of her front porch or something? Like, it could be something
Right.
really creepy.
Right. Right.
One of the things that did I say this part already? One of the things that she said to her friends was he had made the comment that she will always be his wife.
You did say
And
that.
I don't know the timeline on those messages, but there's like this perceived ownership.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that's creepy, Nat, is he allegedly used a suppressor, like a silencer.
Mm.
Those aren't super easy to get.
Mm-mm.
They're not super easy to get, and they leave kind of a little bit of a signature too, so that it lessens the sound, but also the gunshot residue. There's less of that too.
Mm.
So it's interesting because that may be one of the things that helps them nail
Mm.
him for this, if they can tie that to him, because that's pretty unusual. So, yeah, basically, he's been charged with aggravated murder and aggravated burglary. And he has a court date coming up. It was supposed to be trial on February 23rd, but now that's getting punted back a little bit. So he will still have to appear. They don't have bond. He will appear probably on video,
Okay.
but it won't be trial on the 23rd. But we'll be keeping an eye on this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I had a couple of
That's so
things.
sad.
I know. Well, you had a question for me, and I have a couple questions for you. What question do you have?
Well, my question is, and I feel like I know the answer, but just kind of to confirm if I'm right, but also for our listeners. So let's say
Mm-hmm.
he did it,
Mm-hmm.
because I know right now it's allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Obviously he's obsessed with her
Yes.
and has been. Psychopathy
Mm-hmm.
can, well, yeah, see, I'm answering it myself, but for the sake of listeners, psychopaths don't have a lot of emotion.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting that they can be obsessive.
So I don't know for sure. I do not know nearly enough history on him to know if he's
Right.
psychopathic or not.
Sure.
His affect is so unbelievably interesting.
Right.
And if we think about it on a spectrum,
Mm-hmm.
you have to have a screw loose to do what he did, say what he did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, it's not allegedly to me that he abused this woman. I believe
No, yeah.
She never even formally reported it to my knowledge. She
Mhm.
told her girlfriends. I'm gonna believe her. Sorry, not sorry. But
Yeah.
when I think about her report, that all tracks with this
Mhm.
behavior, the escalation, lethality, obsession. There is a part of the brain in some of these folks that is a little bit janky and can get really fixated. And it is a little bit of a control thing.
Mhm.
It sits a little bit in that dopamine, like they can be super disciplined, but there is something like that rewards their circuitry in being
Yeah.
kind of fixated. And again, not everyone who's obsessed, it can be a reactive emotional ownership thing. It can be a misogyny thing. It can be,
Mhm.
there's an attachment wound thing. It can be all kinds of things,
Mhm. Mhm.
or a combination of things.
Sure.
But I think with his affect and then knowing some of the things that happened during their relationship, I think it's incredible that she got out when she did because he would have killed
Mhm.
her.
Oh,
He would
yeah.
have killed her fast,
I'm
honestly.
surprised, like in the paper. I mean, she didn't report anything, then I guess it wouldn't, the paperwork is not going to say much, but yeah, for that type of and maybe that's why she did it. Maybe she like tried to keep it really low key so she wouldn't escalate him.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Hey, let's just like make a clean break. I won't out you. Let's just be done."
Mhm.
And maybe there's like a part of him that didn't want to hurt her, so he let her go in that, for the divorce.
Well, I think it speaks to, and this is the psychology in the heart, because I think you're right, Nat. I think we've seen women just drop everything and run. And
Mm-hmm.
I support that with my whole heart. Like, have a good
Mm-hmm.
plan. But if you need to leave, there is not one thing more important than your safety.
Mm-hmm.
Get a good safety plan with the victim advocate and get the hell out of there when you can
Mm-hmm.
safely do that. What's interesting to me, though, is also this catch 22 of, at least in Colorado, had any of that been reported, that man is in our
Oh,
office,
oh yeah.
right? And we've met with
Is
some
it?
of these people.
Mm-hmm.
And if there was something treatable in what was going on, we might have had a shot at it, is the thing. So that is hard for me to know that 8 years later, he came out of the woodwork and killed her. And
Yeah.
there might have been a moment in there to move things a little bit because we work with people who've strangled their partners all the time. That's not even
Mm-hmm.
rare, unfortunately, anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't know that it was ever rare. One of our clients said we just covered strangulation in group in the last couple weeks, and we were
Mm-hmm.
talking about risk of lethality, and we educate our clients on they can kill someone without even meaning to. You can be frustrated and kill someone just as dead as if you shoot them. So,
Yeah.
and not necessarily mean to. It can be a power and control revengey thing,
Yeah.
and you could kill someone. And so we educate our guys. We have this conversation, whatever. And one of them said, "Do you really think it's happening more now, or do you think it's just getting reported more?"
Mm.
And one of them made a little bit of a tiny bit of a sarcastic comment. We were on it, but it was kind of like, "Yeah, reported more, blah blah." And I'm like, "Okay, whatever." Also, yours was not a mistake, so
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there is a little bit of probably both. I do
Yeah.
think domestic violence has gotten more severe. That's anecdotally, but it's based on some pretty good front row seats,
Mm-hmm.
for the
Mm-hmm.
last 10 years. But
Mm-hmm.
Nat, I struggle because not all the states are like Colorado. I don't know what Ohio would have been like, but in Colorado, we have the extreme risk protection order now. So like
Mm-hmm.
if something like this happens now, you can drop your stuff and leave. You absolutely can do that.
Yeah.
But there are some worlds in which it may be safer to press charges once you're safe, not while
Mm-hmm.
you're underneath somebody's thumb.
Right.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Because the firearms are a thing. And if they could have gone in there, they he wasn't even like hiding them well. Like they went right in and found all his firearms and all his crap, you know?
Wild. Yep.
So and you cannot purchase firearms. You're not supposed to have firearms. Of course, people do. But the extreme risk protection order is really for cases like this, where
Mm-hmm.
even if it didn't go criminally, let's say she's like, I don't even want to press charges. I just need his guns gone and we need like a plan. and maybe
Right.
she's going to leave the state and she needs a week that he doesn't have his guns to leave the state or whatever.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
allows somebody to come in and do that. It lets law enforcement come in and do what they need to do. So I thought of that. My other question is like, if you had a friend who was telling you this stuff, particularly with strangulation, and I've never had a friend. I have had friends who've been really hurt by their partners. I have not had a friend yet who's been strangled by a partner that I know of. I don't think
Right.
women always talk about it.
Right.
What would you tell them, Nat, and what would you encourage them to do for their safety? Because in theory, I mean, these guys, I think were trying to keep themselves pretty safe. I don't get the sense that they were like reckless with their door open.
Well,
What
no,
would you
and
tell someone?
it had been what, 8 years,
Eight
you said?
years.
Yeah, no.
And they don't share children. That's the other thing. Like when you asked, who's kid? Because you do sort of like,
Mm-hmm.
she had a whole family. She had like
Yeah.
a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old child. Like what?
Well, and I just listened to a case today that I'll do later where there was kids involved
Mm-hmm.
between the two. And yeah, anyway, I'll share that case another time. But so yeah, I mean, I was
Well,
like,
like
oh,
don't date Brandon. We got
she
kids
must
going
have,
back and
yeah.
forth.
But I was like thinking the kids must have been with him and he was jealous. But no.
Well, and I have so many questions. So I have questions about who else has he done this to?
Mm-hmm.
But why stay fixated on her in 8 years? Because like don't date Brandon. He just moved on to the next, got obsessed with her. Next one, obsessed with her. Like
Mm-hmm.
violent to all, felt like entitled ownership, nasty with every one of them. Had kids going back and forth, all the things. But he would
Mm-hmm.
cheat and lie and steal. He did all the things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This man, this is a really intense fixation. And so I have curiosities around, did he abuse anyone else? Was he single? Did he just hook up with people, but he never moved on romantically?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Or did something send him? Was there, because I can't think of anything specific.
Well, yeah, and so I'm thinking we'll think let's let's pretend he's maybe not as psychopathic as we maybe think he is.
Mhm.
Like, so, as we talked about obsession, like he may have just fallen that hard for her when they met. And then, they got married. So like obviously there was it's not like they just dated for a few years and then called it quits. They got married. And so when I think of, what we've talked about with obsession, it's intrusive fixation, right?
Mhm.
Like maybe he felt like he lost a part of him when she divorced him, because I'm guessing she divorced him.
Oh, yeah, I get that sense.
Entitlement, deserving. He deserved her. No one else did.
Well, and
I mean,
ownership.
she's ownership, exactly. And she's beautiful. So it's like,
Hmm.
he might have just literally been obsessed with her.
Well, why do you think so long though? And I thought to myself, okay, Christmas, maybe Christmas was a trigger, right?
Mm.
Maybe the holidays, and you just couldn't take anymore. It was one
It's
more
like
year
8 years.
alone or one more whatever. Even 8 years later, I'm thinking holidays. He was there potentially, allegedly on the 5th, 6th, looking at the house, walking through the
Mhm.
neighborhood. So
That's
this
what I'm
is
saying is like maybe there was
premeditated.
just like a weird break in his brain and
Maybe,
something
but it
just
had
like
to have been like a
shifted.
month-long break at least.
Yeah.
And it couldn't have just started then because it happened before too. I mean, when he was fixated,
Hmm.
when he was abusing her, because he was telling her crap that he'd always, she'd always be his wife and all this stuff. So
Hmm.
this is a weird one, a little bit,
Hmm. Hmm.
you know? So
Hmm.
I'll be really curious to know more about what happened, why they left the game. I can do a little digging too and see if I can find more out about that. But
Yeah. To
it's
be continued.
to be continued. We might have to do a part 2 on this if I can track down some more stuff.
Yeah. Well, we probably will do part two, especially if he gets convicted,
Yes. And
because more will probably hopefully come out.
I think so. And like we've talked about, law enforcement played this close to the vest, which was smart. And
Mm-hmm.
you can't find a ton of information right now, which is probably smart. Like
Right.
they're not putting everything out in the media, and it's just heartbreaking. The family members talking about it, the
Mm-hmm.
kids. The good news is it seems like such a loving family. So they were really happy together. And you know what, Nat? She didn't die in 2017. She lived, she got married, she had babies. Like, I'm so thankful she left him when she did.
Mm-hmm.
The DV therapist in me, really wishes that there could have been some kind of an intervention. But I also just so respect that she up and left because, they say in this work that survivors often know how to keep themselves safe in a weird way.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not supposed to interfere with that a ton. So the victim advocates we work with, they
They
really
know.
listen. They
Yeah.
listen.
Yeah.
And so if you have a friend or a family member who's saying, I can't leave right now, like he'll blah, 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 or whatever, you really need to
You
honor
know. Yeah.
what they're saying and listen to them, but then come alongside them so that when they're ready, you're ready.
Mm-hmm.
And that I have done with people before,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the most terrifying, wonderful day when they leave because it's wonderful and you take a breath like, oh my God, they could have a life. And then also it's terrifying because you don't know what comes next.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate the idea that maybe she had just started to sort of settle in and then this happened. And the
Yeah.
brother-in-law made a comment that she'd been really working on the trauma and she's, taking care of herself. And so if it's true that something happened on the 5th and 6th of December, I really want to know what that was.
Mm-hmm.
Because that'll say a lot about his headspace. But this was clearly, if it was him, and these are the details, premeditated. So
Mm-hmm.
this wasn't just a fly off the handle thing that happened in the middle of a breakup. This was a premeditated fixation for years,
Yeah.
potentially.
Yeah.
Mm,
So
sad.
wild. Yeah, thanks for this case. We'll have to keep you guys updated.
Yep, and I have the National Domestic Violence Hotline again, just in case you're listening to this and you've got a friend or you're listening to this going, oh my God, this is my ex-husband from 18 months ago, and I just have this weird feeling in my stomach. You
Mm-hmm.
can call 1-800-799-7233 to get some
Mm-hmm.
good assistance in your area. And, you know, there's a million resources out there for people. So if you need
Yeah.
help, please reach out and get the help that you need.
Yes, for sure. Well, thanks for the case.
You're welcome. It's a sad one.
I feel for the kids. My heart is broken for the kids.
I know.
Broken.
I
Because
just
they
hope
were
they're surrounded by love.
home and lost both of their parents.
Well, and the other thing is,
Jackass.
well, I know it really is so frustrating, but when you watch the video of the wedding between
Mm-hmm.
Spencer and Monique, their kids have that. And
Oh,
not only that, their kids had years of them together, even the baby. You think about that first year in a baby's life, that baby was with mama and a
mm-hmm.
dad that loved them so much. And there was
Mm-hmm.
so much love between them and peace between them. And so
Yeah.
they did get that. And now they have
Yeah.
family surrounding them. So, you
Yeah.
know,
Ugh. Makes me so angry though. Like what makes me
I
mad.
just wish we'd gotten a crack at them, in 2017, because I like our chances with a lot of people. And you know what? If we can't do something, we can tell the courts we can't do something. And sometimes that keeps them away
Mm-hmm.
from the person that they want to hurt. And so, oh, like I
I
wish I'd been in Columbus only for that one day. Like I just wish, beam me to Columbus for one day. That's as long as I
Right.
go to Columbus. But I love you if you're in Columbus, but also, you know.
But
uh,
also no.
But if I went for a day to deal with this kind of nonsense, I would do that.
Well, yeah, you and I would probably go to any situation where there's been a murderer to try to change it.
We're a literal buddy cop show. This is our everyday. I mean, I like to
Like,
think we have a little more finesse than like a dumb buddy cop show, but we are like living our best lives just trying to annihilate intimate partner violence every day. Every day
yes,
we get up like,
yes.
today you know?
Yes.
Well, thanks for listening, and we'll keep you guys posted and all the updates. We have a bunch of updates coming up too. So we will
Yep.
see you guys next week.
As always.
Bye, forensic friends. I'm Janine.
And I'm Nat.
And as always, thanks for listening, and join us next week for more crime, psychology, and heart.